My name is Cassandra Alvarez, and I will be doing my virtual debate on why I think that torture is not an effective and acceptable way to address national security concerns. To start, I didn't know much about torture, so I went ahead and did my own research and, learned and gained more knowledge about torture and about the different ways that people torture other people, which was a little bit hard to read about. But the one that caught my eye the most was this article I read on Newsweek that was more about the neuroscience of torture and why it's not effective. So, one of the key points that it mentioned that stuck out to me was that a person's going to say and do anything to stop the torture from happening, just to appease the torturer. So let's say if they don't even know the information that the torturer is asking, they're just going to say whatever comes to mind just so that it can stop. And this can be anywhere from something that is absolutely not true or something that actually might be true. So why would a person go out on a limb and just assume that that information that's being told is going to be true or not, and continue on with the torturing? So I did my foreign intelligence paper on Russia, and so I kind of gained a lot of knowledge about Russian intelligence and how their agents work. And I found out that the U.S. actually doesn't know a lot about Russia, and that's because their agents don't, in those circumstances, I'm assuming they don't really release a lot of information, that they keep it very to themselves because that's doing nobody a favor. That they would, I read from one of the agents that was being questioned, he had said he'd rather die than to release any information about Russia. So, because it does his country no favor. So things like that, you can torture all you want, and nothing's gonna come out. And if something does come out, it's probably gonna be false information. At least from coming from that agent specifically, he would rather die than to, put his country at risk. And so, I definitely don't think that the state torturing should just assume that the information is right. So they're going to be doing all this work just to receive false information or no information at all. So they cannot guarantee that that's going to be correct. Also, when people are being tortured, they don't think clearly. They obviously are under excruciating pain or in like very extreme circumstances. So you don't think things through. So you're not your things that you can create elaborate stories that sound so believable and so realistic, but your brain is not thinking clearly. Things are not connecting right. And then on top of that, people die and people just they without releasing information. So this is another life. I know we forget that sometimes and we don't think that that person is an actual life. And I get it, everybody is, they might be like the way US sees North Korea right now, and they might want to torture one of their agents and to releasing information, but that is a life. They're still killing another life. So that's the way I see it personally, and I do see other people and their arguments and how they feel. I do see that sometimes they might be able to get out information. A perfect example is like in Mexico. They do a lot of torturing. Personally, I live very close to Mexico, so I'm very involved in their news, and I realize that a lot of the times their cartels will do a lot of that torturing method to receive the information they want, but the people that they're dealing with, the cartels, they're sketchy people. They're gonna release information, because they want to look out for themselves. But when we're talking about somebody who absolutely loves and was gonna put their life on the line for their state, it might not be so likely that they're gonna release information because they signed their life to this. They said that they're gonna die, just to protect their country. So I don't think we should, depend on torturing and think that all right, this is a for sure method, and we're for sure going to get an answer from this, because in all actuality, they already agreed that they would rather die than to put their country at risk, you know? So I think dealing with two different methods, so I guess it really does depend on the person that you're torturing. Like maybe if we're talking more about somebody who was involved into a cartel, I guess I can see how that would work, because they kind of just look out for themselves and it's a dirty business. Like in Mexico, that occurs a lot, and they get their result and they actually get real legitimate information. But if we were to torture somebody from Russia, they're going to give us false information, or they're not going to give us anything at all because they would rather die, or they're not thinking clearly and they won't give us real actual information. They could tell us whatever we want just to stop the torturing. And that's personally why I don't think torturing is an effective method for national security purposes. Thank you.